Sorry, Tinker Tom's got me doing something.
You need to hit the dead drops. Randolph's got a message for you.
Do you need something?
Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute.
So that's what the Courser chip was all about. You needed that frequency, I take it. Why? What does this machine do?
I gotta weigh in. The only thing that matters is if you're gonna help me.
It seems we taught you the lesson about operational security too well. That's a smart call, Agent. But you still need to show these plans to Tinker Tom so we know how we can help you.
The world's a dangerous place for anyone in my way.
Glad you're with us.
The importance of Bunker Hill and our asset there is not widely known. Please keep it that way.
Hey, Glory.
Would it kill them to let me know mission specs before the dead drop? Just once? For every synth that makes it out, there's a round on me.
Got a lot of synths in play right now. Makes things really dangerous.
So you got plans for a device from you-know-who? Hand over. All right, let's see how they're breaking the laws of physics this time.
Hopefully it'll be easier than assembling Sean's crib.
Hold on. Who wrote this? Some kid with a crayon? Shit. Must have been a real big kid. Oh, man. Molecular transmission via encrypted RF waves? Those Institute eggheads are crazy. And you can divert the signal using a heavily modified relay interception. Like a pirate broadcast, you know? That's intense.
Skip to the part where we build the thing, Tom.
The plans cover all the high-end egghead shit, but they're missing a ton of engineering details. Filling in the gaps will take time. This bit here, the stabilized reflector platform, just needs some high-grade metal. Easy. Psh, by the time you finish that, I'll have the rest done.
You better figure the rest out, Tom.
And I've done a whole lot more with a whole lot less, my friend. We can scrounge up the platform components you need. No problem. But where to build it? It's gonna need some serious space. This baby's big. It should fit over at Mercer's safe house. Pam's already given that place her full blessing. I'll flag some runners to deliver the components there.
something. I think the greatest poetry. Not that I'm an astrophysicist. Right? That's my disclaimer. But some of the greatest poetry is revealing to the reader the beauty in something that was so simple you had taken it for granted. That, I think, is the job of the poet. And so, the simplicity of the universe, we started this part of our conversation. I think if it doesn't drive you to poetry, it drives you to bask in the majesty of the cosmos.
So,
Won't
what
be able to
drew
pick
you
this.
said that this is the beauty of astrophysics, or the gift that astrophysics gave us in the 20th century. What drew you to astrophysics? Take us to Neil deGrasse Tyson before he's an astrophysicist. Take us to who you are now.
I'm living in the Bronx, which in vernacular would be the Bronx. And I'm in a building.
Not a lot of stars.
No, there's like a dozen or so in the night sky. So you do not have a relationship with the night sky as a city dweller. And my parents, well, I have a brother and a sister, they would take us to, each weekend we'd go to visit museums and other sort of cultural things in the city. And one of those weekends we went to the Hayden Planetarium, the local planetarium, the one right there in Manhattan. And I'd be sitting in a chair, and the lights dim, the stars come out, and I thought, well, that's a nice hoax. You know, that can't be real. I'll enjoy it while there's a but not fast. They think there's that many stars up there. Like, what kind of, are they pulling my leg? And a couple of years later, I'd go out to Pennsylvania in another trip that we took, and I looked up at the night sky, and what persists to this day, in what is an embarrassingly urban thought. I look up at the night sky from the finest mountaintops in the world, and I look up and I say, it reminds me of the Hayden Planetarium. I beg forgiveness.
Wow.
But
Wow.
so strong was that imprint that I'm certain that I had no choice in the matter. That in fact, the universe called me. And I wonder that if I'd grown up on a farm and the universe and the sky was just always there, I wonder if that would just have become wallpaper to me, and I wouldn't have then been struck by it as I was at age 9. I'd never known anything of it. And then it just slaps you in the face. And from then on, I was hooked. It took 2 years for me to figure out you can do that as a career. But starting at age 11, you asked me, you know, that annoying question adults ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? I heard a comedian say, you know why they ask? Because they're looking for ideas. Paula Poundstone said that. If you'd asked me at age 11, what do you want to be when you grow up? I would have told you flat out astrophysics. I'm an astrophysicist. And my whole life aligned. Got a telescope, got a camera, photographed it. All my science fair projects. One was getting the spectra of the sun and analyzing features of the spectra. I built the spectroscope. So I was one nerd kid. Took car carrying. But I was bigger than other kids, so I was insulated from a lot of what might otherwise happen to nerd kids.
But you wrestled.
I was captain of my high school wrestling.
I've seen you in that wrestling outfit.
Okay.
You can rock a singlet. Well done. Now,
Singlet is what you call the one piece.
they know.
Okay.
So, you wanted to become an astrophysicist. That leads to another question, which is, you know, is it better to not to know? Is it better to know? Is it beautiful? Yes, it can be beautiful. Is science a thing? Or is it a way to look at the world? Is it a verb or is it a noun?
It is both. The world is not just, is it this or that? Is it a planet or not a planet? It's sometimes
You must choose.
it's fuzzier than that. Sometimes
If I have a lot of facts in my head, if I can absorb a lot of facts, am I a scientist?
No, you're a fact memorizer. In fact,
I'll accept that as a compliment.
our academic system rewards people who know a lot of stuff, and generally we call those people smart. But at the end of the day, who do you want? The person who can figure stuff out that they've never seen before, or the person who can know all the facts? At the end of the day, I want the person who can figure stuff out. And science...
We're trapped on an island.
Exactly. When, you know, the professor on Gilligan's Island, it's not a matter of how many facts he can recite. It's like, there's a coconut, and there's a She came around the wrong time of my life. I'll tell you. It was like ginger all the way. For sure.
So it's a way of approaching the world.
It's a way not only of approaching the world, it's a way of equipping yourself to interpret what happens in front of you. I think of science, the methods and tools
Are you a superhero? Why? I mean, the super science.
Actually, when I was a kid, I wanted to be Mighty Mouse when I was a kid. And I wanted to sing opera as I went to the
It's a tool belt. Sorry. I'm taking a picture in the singlet with you.
A tool belt. The difference is a tool belt. You know, if you have a hammer, as they say,
You can hammer in the morning, yes.
I have in the morning. If I had a hammer. The problem is, if you start wielding a hammer, then all your problems look like nails. And maybe they're not. Maybe there's more subtle than that. And so your toolkit has to be able to morph into what is necessary for what it is that you confront at that moment. And so, yes, you're equipped with methods of mathematical analysis, methods of interpretation. You know some basic laws of physics. So when someone says, I have these two crystals, if you rub them together, you'll get healthy. So rather than just discounting it, because that's as lazy as accepting it. Both of those are just lazy brain. What you should do is inquire. So do you know how to inquire? And every scientist would know how to start that conversation. Say, well, where'd you get these? What kinds of ailments does it cure? How does it work? What does it cost? Can you demonstrate that it works? And you go through this whole, and at the end,
I'm a
we're
scientist.
because they weren't prepared for that level of questioning. And so science literacy is vaccine against charlatans of the world that would exploit your ignorance before civilization.
You don't like the crystals I gave you, you can just say it. Well, they're not working for you because you don't know. Is there any science fiction you admire? Or that you enjoy? Or do you see the holes in science fiction and go, I can't enjoy that? Of course, he would know the effects of a neutron star. He doesn't know tidal forces? Like, you don't have that problem? Do you have that problem?
I only have the problem if the movie is marketed for its accuracy. Number one. Number two, they gotta get some basic science right. After that, I'm okay. So, for example, in the latest Star Trek movie, they had this liquid.
The red matter.
The red matter, thank you.
Red matter.
Release the red matter, and you drop it into the core of a planet, and it turns the planet into a black hole. I thought that's kind of cool. What was a little weird was...
Why didn't it turn the ship into a black
No,
hole?
no, because they had the special apparatus that surrounded it.
Yeah, it didn't touch anything. It was inert in the gas.
Black hole apparatus. I'm okay with that. I was not asleep.
That is bug you?
What held the black hole? I had no issue with that. Probably what I had an issue with was they needed this drill, which is a very cool kind of, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Exactly. A drill that will drill to the center of your planet.
What? Why are you talking like that?
Like what, sir? The captain requests your presence on the bridge. At the double quick, sir.
Okay.
Scanning.
Wait, Did this say it's a USS Constitution? This is... Oh my god. If I'm correct, the Constitution was the first vessel of the Navy, or the main vessel of the Navy. So it's pretty funny to see a pre-war vessel, and by pre-war I mean like what's it called? Our wars. So this was during World War II. If I'm correct. Which I doubt. So how the hell do I get up there? See that there. See this. Uh-huh. Huh.
Careful, human. Might get hurt falling like that.
I wouldn't mind some potato crisps right now. Ah, someone diverted power back to the ship. Looking for... There we go, stairs. So let's check the basement first. In this game, you always want to check the basement. See the generator. The generator room may have a power cell for the suits. Usually, they usually do. Beautiful house, or at least it was. Probably would have been nice in the pre-war. Remarkably intact. Considering a nuclear explosion wasn't too far away. How do I get up there?
Scanning.
Ah.
So
Button.
much walking. Want to do more fighting?
Huh? No button. Oh well. About to hit nightfall. Should probably get back.
End of the line.
Make you naked the moment you fall down. Oh my god, that's intense. That is so funny. Oh, I didn't do it. So close. ¿Qué te comiste la comida? Mira la kitchen table. Oh, the kitchen table. The hell? Huh?
I'd say, if that would turn a planet into a black hole from its center, it surely would turn a black hole and turn into a black hole from its surface.
What would Kirk and Sulu fight on?
I know, right. They had to fight on the platform. So I'm okay. I got angry with Jim Cameron about Titanic. That's how I got angry. Did I tell you? I never tell you the story.
You did not.
Oh, no.
I've never seen you this angry before. I can't wait to see what you have to say about Avatar. You might turn blue with rage. So what was your problem with Titanic?
There's a colleague of mine who saw Avatar, and he got home and he told his wife he wanted to paint her blue, and that didn't go over very well.
Is she 10 feet tall?
So, Titanic, you may remember, was marketed as a film of high accuracy because Cameron had funded this submersible to go down and check out the staterooms and the wall sconces and the china patterns, and so they reproduced that to detail. And so here they recreate the ship for the movie. Can you double check that? No, because he had the submersible. You just have to trust him, okay? No, you gotta trust him. So now, the ship sinks, right?
I've heard the story so many times and I don't mind. He tells it so well.
Excuse me.
I don't know how long we could be trapped on an island before he would annoy me.
You got the platform built yet? Tick tock, tick tock. I'm waiting for the good
Dude,
news.
I had to run over here, swim through the river.
I did. The platform's constructed.
And I filled in the blanks on the blueprints. We can actually build this crazy thing. The science of this monstrosity is wow. But fortunate for us, the ingredients pretty common. But there's 3 specialty items that I just can't grab from our safe houses. You find those, and we'll knock down the gates of hell.
I don't have time for a scavenger hunt.
There's only so far my miraculous ingenuity can go, my friend. I got needs. After you get the gettables, meet me at the build site.
Gettables.
Use the back entrance. Too much traffic through the church and we'll burn this highway.
A chance to get inside the Institute. Incredible.
Did I give away the... Sorry. Okay, so the ship sinks.
I didn't. I remember.
You remember that, okay?
Very sad.
And this Kate Winslet on the flow. Remember that? And
Yes.
she's delirious.
This isn't the scene where she's naked.
Oh, sorry.
Go on, she's dressed. Okay, go ahead.
No, she's on the flow, on the whatever, the plank, Worse than that, the left side of the sky was a mirror reflection of the right side of the sky. So not only wrong, it was lazy. And
halfway through, they just might just flip it, just flip it.
No one will know. And so I was livid. I got out my finest stationery, and I wrote a letter to Jim Cameron. No reply. 5 years later, I bumped into him. He was on the NASA committee, and my sort of presence with NASA was growing by then. But I bumped into him in a meeting, and I said, Mr. Cameron,
let's see what material I already have.
You know, the sky is not the right. What? And he says, well, actually, that happened in post-production. So he's absolving himself of guilt, but I wanted him to grovel in front of my feet, which he did not do. Now, wait. So I was angrier after that. Later on, Wired magazine honors him for Discoverer of the Year, Explorer of the Year, and they want to hold their party at the Rose Center for Earth and Space.
Eso es súper duro, mano.
You're loud enough, you don't need a microphone.
There we go, fell down.
Mine, yes.
So, he's in my house. And as a courtesy, they extended me an invitation to have dinner with a small group of them after this award ceremony. So, we go to dinner. There's 6 of us at the table. The wine is pouring. So, I said, Tim, I don't know if you remember, but I brought this up some time ago about the sky. And I wouldn't be so upset, except that everything else you boasted was so accurate. And we can't even check how accurate that is, but anybody can spend $50 for a planetary sky program and look at the sky and know that you got the wrong sky. What gives? And you know what he said? He said, last I checked, worldwide, Titanic has grossed $1.3 billion. Imagine how much more it would have grossed if I got in the sky right.
Oh, man. So sorry.
That, if I had a tail, it would have been like between my legs, and I would have...
So I think you won that conversation.
No, actually I did.
You retreated into his bank account.
Here's what
But that money will all eventually be gone, and he would still have gotten the sky wrong.
Oh, that's an interesting point. That's right. The sky will
outlive even James.
Apparently, I don't have enough copper.
However, as dejected as I was, 2 weeks later I get a phone call. Forgot the guy's name. He calls me up and said, "Oh, it's Dr. Tyson." He said, I forgot his name, Johnny Smith. I work in post-production for Jim Cameron. He is releasing a 10-year director's cut anniversary edition of the Titanic and will be adding new footage from the deck. And he tells me you have a sky that he can use.
Not bad. You got your taste, right? You got a little taste,
yeah,
right?
It was good. But no, I'm a public servant.
Me too.
Oh, you get paid for everything, Colbert.
You know, if you're gonna claim it's right, then I'm gonna hold you to it. If you're not, then I'll just sit and enjoy it.
Don't worry, I'm still streaming.
Just
fixing something.
Read the book first. People I can't stand. Stay home.
We should not go to the movies together. Now, okay, what is, I got 3 different things. What is the latest discovery in astrophysics that we don't know about?
My favorite. I gotta go back maybe 6 months from now, 8 months from now.
Okay.
Well, some water on the moon, that's kind of cool. But what struck me the most earlier methane on Mars. Methane. If you have a gas stove and you live in a city, chances are it's methane. It's a flammable gas. You say, well, so what? Yeah. Except that methane is the byproduct. It's part of the gaseous effluence
Just saying, we could power a ship by just having a herd of cows on it and putting a bunch of like grass and stuff. So like you can make an entire bio ship. Think of like Death Star levels of awesomeness. We could build that right now. And it would be a generation ship. No. You stop that nonsense. There will be no lighting of the nuke. Oh, god damn it! He chased me out of the building with the nuke. That's here in the video reel. Oh, thank you, Bethesda. See, no one talks about how Bethesda fixes that shit. Nah, everyone's like, oh, Bethesda fucks up all the time. Oh my god. That's nuts. Well, back to what I was saying, you could build an entire ship out of like everything that grows on Earth and build it as a generational ship. And like 100 years, well, not 100 years from now, 100,000 years from now, those people will have evolved differently from the people on Earth. And that maybe, most likely, we'll have the technology to just like pass that ship or catch up to it, and then we could see, just like how on Australia, a lot of life on Australia completely evolved separately from life on other parts of the planet. Look at koalas, kangaroos. You don't see those anywhere on the planet. Not to mention the fact that a lot of these mammals have venom on. They're toxic or venomous. I don't know what you'd call it. It is no bueno to get scratched by a few different animals over in Australia. So it'd be really cool to see something like that happen in the future. We build a generation ship that goes off. We catch up to it, and it's like, whoa, this is not how we remember people. But I digress. Back to Neil deGrasse Tyson and Colbert.
Thrive in the absence of oxygen. And you don't have oxygen deep in your intestinal tract, neither do any farm animals. And if you're down under and Mars doesn't have oxygen. So it's tantalizing to think that maybe there are life reservoirs in aquifers beneath the Martian soils.
As I was saying before about it is better to know or not to know, there are things about our own identity that we take from the knowledge that we have, or the things we don't know, the assumptions of things that are not there to be known.
And instead of using the word identity, I'd say they have an impact on our ego. Yeah. Because the more we learn about the universe, the smaller we get. Right? In time, in space, in size. And so if you go in...
Not the way you just described it. The way you described it, you're a supernova.
Nice.
Well,
that makes you bigger.
Well, I think if you know about what's going on, it's not mysterious and you're a participant in the unfolding cosmos. Otherwise, you are consumed by it, and you fear it, and you shun it, and you say, I don't want to know that I live on a speck called Earth, or an undistinguished star in the corner of an ordinary galaxy in an expanding void of the cosmos. There are some happy thoughts in there, like understanding how that works, recognizing that the human brain figured that out. That's kind of cool. The body still don't know, but what we do know, I think we can sit. What do we know about you? Maybe not everyone of us like Einstein, but taught us, and each of them stands on the shoulders of giants that take. Let's celebrate, not fear.
Like if we found out that there was something other than Earth, what would you think that would do to our identity? Or
bacterial life, which is kind of what we're looking for now. Bacterial life, there's no question about whether in our mind's eye,
Stop smacking me around. Oh man. Good thing they're not piled on top of me. Ooh, jangles.
So in fact, we are just hosts for bacteria to lead their lives. So for the point of view of bacteria, you'll die well. A dark, warm place to live. But
We're a planet, and they don't believe there's bacteria in any of the other planets.
That'd be interesting sci-fi.
Yeah.
So the real issue is, if we find life on another planet that's smarter than we are, that would totally mess with our ego. That'd be the last
straw.
nail in the coffin of our ego. That used to be, well, we're humans, we're on Earth, and Earth is small, and the sun
See, this is called being lost.
That'd be the last one, and I don't know how we'd be able to handle it.
Do you think that there have been discoveries that have happened? For instance, I have heard discoveries that have changed our point of view about the universe that we are not aware of. In other words, the change has been so gradual.
Ooh, he had duct tape.
We see the world differently. Has you humans made us!
Now suffer for your arrogance!
Yeah, there was a bald, not a bald, but scientist who created super mutant virus, and now super mutants are headed by some super mutant, like, psychic power. They're all connected. Such good writing.
Optics didn't exist for that.
We needed a big enough telescope, and Edwin Hubble wielded all the glass that necessary to accomplish that back in the 1920s. He said Hubble, before the telescope, was a man, and had his own telescope, the biggest of its day, and he made that discovery. That there were these spiral fuzzy things in the night sky. We thought they were just local to us. There are whole other systems of stars. 100 billion stars unto itself, outside of our system. Not only was that discovered in 1926, 1929 he discovers that the universe is expanding. Which means it may have had a big, back then, it may have had a beginning. If it's expanded, that meant it was littler in the past. Well, there wasn't
Littler.
all together in the same place. Thus was born
Someone there!
Okay, so now, also in that decade, quantum mechanics, quantum physics was discovered. That is the science of the small, the science of electrons, protons, neutrons, particles, nuclei. At the time, you'd say, this is just physicists burning tax money. Because who cares about the atom? I got my horse to feed. I got kids, you got issues in society. Yet it's quantum mechanics that is the entire foundation of our technological revolution. There would be no computers. There would be none of what you take for granted. Your iPod, your iPhone, cell phones, the space program, without our understanding of the laws of physics as they operate on that atomic and molecular and nuclear level. And
So friggin' lost.
The chemist has no understanding of the periodic table of elements without quantum mechanics. To them, it's just a list of elements. Quantum mechanics tells you why this column is there. And then say, why this mates with that. And why that mates with that. That's quantum mechanics. It's unheralded. You ask me, is there any discovery that has changed how we live? It is.
Oh, wait a second.
I make this point because I'm ready to.
Won't be able to pick this.
You'll hear people saying, why are we spending money?
There we go.
We got problems on Earth.
Didn't see it earlier.
The time delay between the frontier of scientific research and how that's going to transform
Yay, duct tape.
So all they want is a quarterly report that shows the product that comes out of it. That is so short-sighted that it's the beginning of the end of your culture.
So it's better to know.
Yes, it's better to know.
Really long answer to my first question. My second question is, let's take some questions. Do we have time to do that? Q&A. Wavy, but hit me in the head with a rubber band. Okay. Very quickly before we get to questions here.
How many can I ask?
Ask one. Do we have microphones, or are we going around the room?
We can repeat the question if there aren't enough microphones to go around.
Let's start right here. Question one, please, sir.
Is there a brown dwarf star approaching? Okay, I suggest that I think I know much more deeply behind that question. He's asking about Planet X that would swing by Earth in the year 2012 and tip us on our axis and have it be the end of civilization as we know it. Is that right, sir?
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I'm digging a subterranean chamber.
Yeah.
Me and my kids are gonna be fine. Yeah, go on. Once again here.
It doesn't exist.
Moving on.
Yes. There's no planet X. All gravity, all principal sources of gravity in the solar system are present and accounted for. Anything we discover now are tiny and insignificant, like Pluto relatives.
Yes, sir.
Apophis.
Can't wait till I get the melee one where I can swing and hit everything in front of me.
Old human junk. Worst kind of human junk.
The issue is, are you crossing the street when the truck is driving there at the same moment? That simultaneity is what matters. Apophis, when you ran the calculations, showed that there was a chance of it hitting us in the year 2036, with a close approach in the year 2029 on April 13th. A Friday.
Smacker. Strong is strong. The other guy. You ran? Strong, come here, buddy.
What? Strong can carry for you.
I remember coming here once. The turrets all around. And mines. A bad place to be. That's strong? Yeah, it's strong.
Go ahead and hide, little fingers. Next. Gonna split.
So game changers going forward. If we discover the dark matter particle, that'd be kind of cool. If dark energy and dark matter, we don't know what's causing either one of them, but we measure them. So they are real in their action on the universe. We just don't know what it is. Okay? As distinct from the ether 100 years ago, we never measured it.
Thought I had already come in here.
There was no data. It was just a dark matter, dark energy. We call it Fred and Wilma. Don't think it's matter or energy. We don't know what it is. Don't let the name fool you. I'll for henceforth call it Fred and Wilma. Okay? So, Fred and Wilma, these two things, it may be a game changer. Once we figure out what it is, it's a new particle that then we can exploit to our benefit. In the same way our understanding of quantum physics enable us to exploit the behavior of
they're so fast. I love ghouls.
That's one way.
So, like, I think it's like 80 or 90% of the mass on Earth is unknown to us. We have no idea. That's what the word dark means. We don't know. Oh my god, he can still hit you without arms? That's awesome. So dark, that's what that means. It's dark to us, it's unknown. So the idea behind it so far, the best prevailing idea is that there's another, that's actually just energy or mass from another planet that's leaking to us.
Security's too good.
It's, but that's only if the multiverse actually exists, which, I mean, every single time we think that there's only one of something, it turns out that there's thousands, millions, billions of them. Oh, there's surely only one camp of people. Oh wait, other people exist. Alright, well, there's surely only one, like, plot of Earth. Oh, wait, we just traveled across these. There's another plot of Earth, like, on the other side. Alright, well, at least there's only one planet. Oh, wait, there's other planets. Well, at least there's only one star. I was like, that's what we have. We have the sun. Oh. Wait, there's other stars. They're all in the sky. Oh, well, at least it's only one galaxy. I mean, jeez. Well, we're the only ones in the whole galaxy. Oh, wait a second. There's, I don't want to let me go in. There you go. Oh, wait, jeez. There's billions of other galaxies. Oh, well, there's only one universe. We'll see. You're smacking me around. Don't do that to me. So yeah, for now the prevailing idea, which is mostly just regurgitated thoughts from other people, is that there's the extra mass is from another galaxy, which in turn would mean that we are influencing that galaxy too. So in order to prove it, you would have to figure out a way to show that, hey, my galaxy is influencing your galaxy, which is where Fringe, the show, got a lot of its ideas from. That's how Walter was able to discover that there was a second planet. Was specifically by looking at what planet was being influenced by his. And the thing is that his experiments actually caused a bleeding effect. And it didn't go too well for the other side. It's supposed to be an irradiated one down here. You can sell pre-war money for a good pocket of change.
Excellent.
Back to Neil deGrasse. Humans should fight with strong more.
Gave the recommendation that Pluto be demoted, correct?
We thought differently about Pluto's identity than Pluto did, and other supporters of it. We just grouped it with other icy bodies in the outer solar system that had
Pluto's not a planet.
were being discovered.
Our moon is bigger than Pluto. Our moon. Pluto doesn't even have a proper orbit. And it hasn't even cleared everything out of its orbit. Not only that, but there's like 20-something other Kuiper Belt-esque objects. I can finally get rid of these rads. Pretty high up now. I'm sure there's some mission that involves these, and I just haven't found it yet. But I know there's some relay here. There's a computer here or something. There it is. Look at this shit. It's so beautiful. And there's a mission, separated family, signal found. Save some AP. We're about to fight. Ah, so close.
This is what death looks like! Up close!
I'm looking for the suiciders. Woo! Seriously, those grenades are killer. Oh my god, they don't run out of grenades. There it is. Just in case a suicider just pops up in front of me.
Only one of us survives this! And it won't be you!
Look at that, he dropped the super sled.
Human! Here! Red! Rush! Get done. Victor spoils.
Ooh, by 30. Oh, I don't have it. Oh, now you guys get here. They'll probably kill the last guy. Enemy has mutated.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm over encumbered.
Excuse me.
I don't have time for you right now.
Shoot the messenger. Pluto was alone for 65 years. And so you can't have a category of one. That doesn't work in science. You need a few things to make a category. So we thought
It was in a category, there was a planet.
well, yeah.
My very elegant mother just sat upon 9 porcupine. Now she just sits upon 9. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Where's the porcupine?
If she's that elegant, she wouldn't have sat on a porcupine, I don't think. So once we found other icy bodies, all we did was group them together. We said,
I've got a weapon here for every
family for you. In fact, we think you're happier there, because now you're one of the biggest icy bodies. And I'd rather the pipsqueak planet.
You sent Pluto to a farm upstate to run and chase rabbits. It's much happier there, kids.
It's happier there. And I didn't do this alone.
Is there a supergiant beyond Pluto that pulls comets in? Is there a chance there's something out there that's drawing?
There was a hypothetical star, which is related a little bit to what led to
Hey.
this.
This what's strong, Carrie, for human.
You won't talk about, but you and I know, yes.
Yeah. There was a...
Come down to the bunker, too.
There was a suggestion that there was a companion star to the sun, provisionally called Nemesis, that would have this long orbit that would jostle comets in the outer solar system and send them raining down on Earth, creating mass extinctions, accounting for the extinction episodes in the fossil record. But it was an interesting hypothesis that was never supported by data, and so when you're not supported by data, you discard.
Cleo.
Every weapon you see here could be the difference.
Just because you want to.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
It feels good. At some point, you've got to confront the data. So getting back to the point.
You've never been in politics.
So getting back to the point, the recognition that Pluto is made half ice, and ice evaporates, so will Pluto one day disappear? No, Pluto's too far away from the sun for that to ever meaningfully evaporate and disappear completely.
Yes. What was the plan, did you say?
The point.
The point. The
What
large
was
hadron
the
collider.
point? He speaks in past tense as though we're done with it. We
What
just
is-
turned on the switch, the Large Hadron Collider in Switzerland. The point of the Large Hadron Collider was to embarrass America, to make us feel bad that we didn't have our collider built back in the 1980s when it was first funded. That's the whole point of the Large Hadron Collider. It's Europe saying, gotcha this time. Now, apart from that ego bit, it's to probe nature on levels of energy never before seen. And right now, it's hard, it's practically impossible to discover.
Ooh, you're bad. Can't get enough.
I'll take a look, sure.
Yeah, sure, Trey. Let's get
The
started.
entire history of physics is go to the edges of your points of exploration and then take a step beyond that. You're bound to discover something new. It's like climbing the next mountain, crossing the next valley. So, the Large Hadron Collider, the energy inside that particle accelerator will exceed the energy of all accelerators that have ever been built before. Probing nature as never previously imagined.
What is the Higgs boson?
Higgs boson, that's a particle proposed that you can think of it as a kind of a, it's like a
Come on, it's what matter moves through.
molasses.
Yeah.
Okay. And, well, okay, not molasses. It's a field through which all particles move, and the interaction of those particles with that field endows them with the mass that we measure for them. It is granting them
Why are you clapping?
the property of mass. We have yet to find this particle, but if we do...
So mass is not explained presently.
That's correct. If we just measure...
We don't know why we get fat. we don't know why something has mass right now.
That's correct.
And so we... Now
If we can manipulate the Higgs boson, you know how people are like, ooh, we don't know how to make, what's it called, those ships,
Hey.
what are those ships called? The ones that... Flying saucers. Flying saucers, other than the fact that they spin, which there's really no reason for them to spin. But flying saucers, if we could manipulate the Higgs boson, we could make our own flying saucers. How cool would that be? I mean, come on. We arrive onto a different planet in a flying saucer, leave, and then we do the exact same thing to them, whatever we thought happened to us. How funny would that be? But yeah, only I would think of like the most expensive and longest plot to prank an entirely new species with. I should not be allowed to command a starship. Nope.
This way. You've got an equation over here, you built it, and it's a house, okay? And you've got another equation over here that works. It's another house. But in your mind, you think, these two houses are actually probably should be one house. You invent something that fits into the shape between the two houses, right? Like you've got a shape between the two houses. Okay, there's something in the universe that is the shape of the space between these two houses.
Yes.
Does that necessarily mean that thing is there?
What do you need?
The history has shown
Doc.
that
This better be an emergency.
every time we propose something
Could use some
that connects one
supplies
house to
after
another,
All
if
right,
those two houses
but go easy
themselves
on the chem.
work, there's something in between them connecting the two. For example, the 1930s, we had this experiment with it's the 1930s. Quantum physics is in place. We start probing the atom. We find out there's an atomic reaction, a nuclear reaction, where there's some missing energy. We account for all of it, and there's something missing. This much in here, and then it's missing here. And we swear we accounted for everything. Fermi comes up, a famous physicist, said, I bet there's a particle that came out of that reaction that escaped with the energy before you had a chance to measure.
E equals mc squared.
That would have endowed that particle with its energy to do so, the mass to do so. It squares in every one of these. It's all over the place. It's written with E equals mc squared. The point is, he hypothesized the particle, gave it the properties that it would have to account for what was seen. That's your conduit between the two houses. Then he says it's got to have this much energy, and it's got to be pretty hard to detect because we surrounded this in lead, and it just went straight through the lead. So I'm going to propose a particle that's hard to detect. And it's got to be little, because there's not that much mass, and it has no charge, so it's neutral. So we call them neutrinos, little neutral ones. He hypothesized. He said, let's look for them. 20 years later, they were found. Neutrinos.
What makes us up is actually up-down quarks, neutrino, and electron. The Higgs boson is what all of these move through. In fact, something really weird, we have absolutely no clue. There's no evidence that the electron, we've never seen an electron. Let me not say there's no evidence that it exists, because we know it exists. But no one's actually seen an electron. It's so infinitesimally small. Infinitesimally? Sorry, English second language. That we have no idea what it even looks like. We know what a proton is. We can technically see it, in its field and stuff, but we have no idea what an electron even looks like. The size of it is just, it's too small. That is crazy. But people still believe in it. Because, you know, we have all the math behind it. We don't understand it, scientists say it's there, so I guess it's real. You don't see that with what's it called? Evolution. Over here in the United States, it's hard to find people who believe in evolution. Everyone's like, yeah, evolution, but come on, let's be real. It doesn't work like that. There's evidence behind evolution, and people just don't believe in it for some reason. Don't know why.
And now we kept him coming out of these reactions. He built the porch, the walkway between the two houses. Practically every time you have two working understandings of the world, and they have to coexist in the same universe, there's something that's going to connect them. It's like electricity and
clapping.
previously discovered as separate things, until Faraday and Maxwell said, hey, wait a minute, this works and that works, and they kind of smell like each other, and maybe they're the same thing. So a whole theory came out to put the two together, and it is the theory of electromagnetism. You know this word. We just take it as a single word, but those used to be separate concepts. So we're going good with this. We're on a roll here. So why not continue? Do parallel universes exist? Do parallel universes?
How can you even answer that?
The parallel universes are losing favor to the multiverse. We have some cogent theoretical expectations that our universe might be just one of many, spawned from this sort of hyperdimensional medium, which we'll call the multiverse. There's no data to support it, but we have good theoretical premise to think that it's there. And we have philosophical precedent. We used to think Earth was special and unique. We thought we had 8 planets. We thought the sun was special. It's one of 100 billion.
So I accidentally get the lighter bill. Huh.
We have one universe. Or do we? The track record said, why should there only be one? Be open to the possibility that you don't live in the majority-looking universe that's out there.
What a separate universe. When you say different universe, that's
slightly different laws of physics, which makes it well, this is the fun part. Because if you manage to get a portal to another universe, don't be the first one to volunteer to go through it. Because your atoms are working in this universe. If there's a slightly different law of physics, you could implode, explode, come out with 3 heads. Who knows?
There's a different exchange rate over there.
Yes.
Let's go in the back, in the middle, and I think you have a white sweater on.
Shoot people? Was it? Oh yeah, it's outside. Two people.
Can a black hole be used to travel? How about that? Can we say that?
No, it's different.
Can you get with it? Tunnel through a black hole?
Yes.
As if it creates a tunnel in space or time? Quantum mechanically, tunnel through a black hole. I'm going to try to interpret this one.
What I have to ask is, did you want to land someplace else when you're done, or are you content with being dead when it's over? I need to know before I answer it. It's okay if you die.
For science.
For science. Stephen Hawking showed just recently that, and some of this is kind of
Everything.
amazing, that black holes remember everything that they've ever eaten, which means it's not a tunnel to anywhere. Everything that it ate is sitting there at the singularity of its center. Now, the spooky part, that's not the spooky part. The spooky part is, Stephen Hawking showed 40 years ago that black holes can actually evaporate. The matter that's within a black hole can rise up out of a gravitational field and spontaneously birth a pair of particles. That's just E equals mc squared, doing its thing.
24-hour sun.
The gravity field has high energy density. Out of that pops particles, and those particles escape, taking matter away from the black hole. From the gravity field of the black hole.
Doesn't that fly in the face of how we think of a black hole? It's a black hole, gone forever. Because nothing escapes, because nothing can surpass the energy needed to go faster than the speed of light.
Except quantum mechanics, this quantum physics from the 1920s gets you out of that problem. That's a classical understanding of black holes. You layer quantum mechanics on it, weird stuff happens. Completely legitimately weird stuff happens. So you birth these particles outside the thing. Now here's what happens.
That sounds like that. I'm not interrupting. That sounds like science is making magical exceptions for itself.
Quantum physics is kind of magic because none of the issues forced from your common sense. Particles pop in and out of existence. One time it's a wave, the next time it's a particle, and it interacts with itself. And you measure here, but it shows up there. If we were forged in that world, then all that would be nonsense. And equal would be a daily phenomenon. You would need Einstein to figure it out. You'd be learning it in elementary school. But that is a foreign universe to us. And so what goes on there, you are prone to say, that doesn't make sense. You know something? It's of no obligation to make sense to you, because your senses didn't come out of that universe. Out of that universe, I'm a city surplus. If you let something go, and it drops, you say, that makes sense. If you let something go and goes up, you say, that doesn't make sense. In quantum world, that happens all the time. It would make sense in the quantum world. So, I submit to you.
Oh, I do hope you're here to make a purchase.
It's what I live for.
I've got a few minutes to browse.
The highest quality available.
Oh, what? Why did it end?
Provided it doesn't, don't be the first one to volunteer to go through. Your atoms are working in this universe. If the slightly different law of physics, you could implode, explode, come out with 3 heads. Who knows?
There's a different exchange rate over there.
Yes.
Let's go in the back, in the middle, and I think you have a white sweater on. Yes.
Is it possible to tunnel through a black hole, like quantum mechanics?
Can a black hole be used to travel? How about that? Can we say that?
No, it's a little different. Like,
Steve,
can with it tunnel through a black hole?
Yes.
As if it creates a tunnel in space or time?
Quantum mechanically associated.
Quantum mechanically, can you tunnel through a black hole?
Does she know what she means by quantum mechanically?
Well, I have to ask, did you want to land someplace else when you're done, or are you content with being dead when it's over? I need to know before I answer.
I guess it's okay if I die.
It's okay if you die.
For science.
For science. Stephen Hawking showed just recently that, and for me this was kind of spooky amazing, that black holes remember everything that they have ever eaten. Which means it's not a tunnel to anywhere. Everything that it ate is sitting there at the singularity in its center. Now the spooky part, that's not the spooky part. The spooky part is, Stephen Hawking showed 40 years ago that black holes can actually evaporate. The matter that's within a black hole can rise up out of the gravitational field that surrounds it and spontaneously birth a pair of particles. That's just E equals mc squared doing its thing. E equals mc squared. The gravity field has high energy density. Out of that pops particles, and those particles escape, taking matter away from the black hole, from the gravity field of the black hole.
Doesn't that fly in the face of how we think of a black hole? In a black hole, gone forever. Because nothing escapes, because nothing can surpass the energy needed to go faster than the speed of light.
Except quantum mechanics, this quantum physics from the 1920s gets you out of that problem. That's a classical understanding of black holes. You layer quantum mechanics on it, weird stuff happens. Completely legitimately weird stuff happens. So you birth these particles outside the thing. Now here's what happens.
That sounds like that. I'm not interrupting. That sounds like science is making magical exceptions for itself.
Quantum physics is kind of magic because None of it issues forth from your common sense. Particles pop in and out of existence. One time it's a wave, the next time it's a particle. And it interacts with itself. And you measure it here, but it shows up there. If we were forged in that world, then all that would be common sense. N equals MC squared would be a daily phenomenon. You wouldn't need Einstein to figure it out. You'd be learning it in elementary school. But that is a foreign universe to us. And so what goes on there, you're prone to say, that doesn't make sense. You know something? It's of no obligation to make sense to you, because your senses didn't come out of that universe. Out of that universe of tiny particles. We don't live there. If you let something go, and it drops, you say, that makes sense. If you let
Red scorpion egg omelet.
in the quantum world, that happens all the time.
This
It
is...
would make sense in the quantum world. So,
They are getting creative with this one. It cures all addictions.
Stephen Hawking showed is that all the particles that went into the black hole, let's say it's Stephen Colbert black hole, okay? No other contaminating bodies, but your atoms, the center of this black hole. And I went around, and out here, in the gravity field, particles pop into existence. And I make a check, how many protons, how many neutrons, how many electrons, how many neutrinos. By the time this black hole is evaporated, it would have been every single particle that you were having fallen in the first place. Extracted out of the energy field of the black hole. So it remembers who you were even out in the gravitational field. That's spooky to me. I'm talking
The black hole now gone.
That's not spooky.
Gone. Just it pops out of existence. Evaporated. It takes, by the way, it takes several trillion years for that. So don't wait around for it.
It's a okay.
How do you figure all this out?
Math.
How do you figure all this out? It's an excellent question.
Yeah. That's a good one. Isaac Newton didn't
Calculus.
himself. He was like really smart. A quick Isaac Newton story. He discovered laws of motion, laws of gravity. He just showed that planets don't orbit in circles as Copernicus had thought, but in slightly flat circles we call ellipses. And so a friend of his said, Ike, why? That may be hard over. Ike, why that shape and not some other shape? He couldn't answer that. I'll get back to you. Goes home for 2 months, comes back. Here's why it's that shape. The conic sections that cuts through the thing. And said, well, how did you figure that out? He said, well, I can invent integral and differential calculus to figure it out. So some people invent their own tools and methods to discover the world. Most people learn the tools from someone else and then apply them to make incremental changes. Some people make huge changes, like Isaac Newton and Einstein and others. Isaac Newton once said, if I can see farther than others, it's because I've stood on the shoulders of giants who have come before me. But I've read Isaac Newton, and this stuff makes the hair on the, if I had hair, it would rise up on the back of my neck, how plugged in he was to the universe. And I'm saying to myself, that quote cannot have possibly been honest. What it really matters, if I read that quote to him, I say, if I can see farther than others, it's because I'm standing among midgets, that's why. He can see farther than everybody else. In the case of Isaac Newton.
I'm afraid we only have time for one more question. Yes, sir.
No, actually, that's a great segue to my question.
We organize this all for your question. Sure.
Early in the evening, you brought up the ideas of scientific literacy and technology management. I'd like to hear your opinions on where the policy needs to go to make a positive impact.
All right, Neil.
Can you repeat that?
The question is, we were talking earlier about scientific literacy and our approach towards science as a nation. In your opinion, and you serve on science advisory panels, where do you think we need to go as a nation? What do we need to do to increase our scientific literacy?
I'll answer two-pronged. One is, what do you do with your kids? And kids need to be able to explore freely. And if you look at most households, they're not designed for that. They're designed to have the kid not explore.
Horrible. I hate the vault suit. Oh my god, it looks horrible.
Run the bases. Trust me.
Stop that, you're getting the dishes dirty.
Oh yeah, if you run the bases, it's an achievement. Or a trophy, whatever you want to call it.
because of an experiment that they are conducting. And every time the kid wants to do something, provided it doesn't kill them, it's an experiment. Let it run its course, even if it makes something messy. You agreed to have a kid in the first place?
Well, let's see if I can build it. I don't know if I can. I kind of stored all my junk.
Because it's those seeds of curiosity that is the foundation of what it is to become a scientist. Now, I don't want everybody to be a scientist. That'd be a boring world. I want the poets and I want the musicians and we need that. And I don't have a, but I'm talking about promoting science literacy. And so the first step for the parents to get out of the way, allow the child to explore. So if they start playing in the mud, don't do that in the mud. I just cleaned those pins. You're getting in the way of another experiment. They start plucking the petals off the flowers you just bought from the florist. And you say, stop that, I just paid $10 for the flowers. Had you let that continue, they find in the middle the station and the pistol, and they learn something about the flower. For $10.
I did store it. God damn it.
It's over. If you think education is expensive, try the cost of ignorance.
Okay.
So that's got to start at home, in the schools. I don't have a problem with the fact memorizing, but don't equate that with what it is to be wise or what it is to be smart. Smart should be some combination of that, yes, but also, what is your lens on the world? How do you figure things out? And you promote that by stimulating curiosity. And I don't see enough stimulating curiosity in this world. This is a famous school right here. I saw the banner in the opening corridors. So you probably don't have that problem here, all right? But the whole world is not educated in this building. So a lot of change would need to happen in that. Again, back to policy.
Mayor's workers.
I tried. You do a simple Google, like YouTube and Tyson, my name, but put Neil so you don't get Mike. All right? Driving on someone's ear. Half of what ends up thrown onto YouTube are talks I've given where I'm trying to convince people, not only the public, but lawmakers and people
Of logic.
that investing in the frontier of science, however remote it may seem in its relevance to what you're doing today, is a way of stockpiling the seed corns of future harvests of this nation. And those seed corns, what they do is, whether or not you know it today, advancing a frontier, history has shown, has advanced the culture ever since the Industrial Revolution got underway. And we can speak more humanistically about it, that anyone who has embraced the
sensor module
has enjoyed economic wealth, the likes of which the world has never seen, attended with strength of security. Okay? And so people say today, they'll say, so suppose the next terrorist attack is like a chemical attack. Do you call out the Marines, or do you get your best chemists to figure out what to do about that? There's a point where your weapons are not as useful as the brain of the scientist who you could bring to bear on the problem. And so I see science and technology and creative investments in it as
we'll see.
significant infusion to our economy that could possibly be conceived. The problem is it's not going to boost the economy next quarter. It's got a time horizon longer than most people have the patience for, and most politicians have the re-election cycle to be tolerant of. So what we need is a longer view on those investments. I don't want to have NASA going hand in hand trying to get money to stimulate the frontier of cosmic discovery. And that frontier now involves biologists in the search for life, chemists in understanding the soils of Mars, aerospace engineers. You know what I don't want to do? I don't want to stand in front of 8th graders and say, who wants to be an aerospace engineer so that you can design an airplane that's 15% more fuel efficient than the one your father flew? That's not going to get him. But if I say, who wants to be an engineer and design an airfoil that'll fly in the rarefied atmosphere of Mars, I'm going to get the best students in the class, and you know it. Because that's an exciting project for smart people to work on, motivated people to work on. And when you have them, they invent stuff, they discover things, they transform election cycle to think for themselves and say, this is a good investment. How many times have you heard people say, if you're not among us here, why are we spending money up there?
Damn it, I need more ceramic.
How much money we're spending up there? Ask that question. You know what the answer is? I'm asking. How much money do you think we're spending? Here's your tax dollar. How much do you think? 10%? 15%? Those are the kinds of answers I get. You know how much they spend? The locals.
Woo!
The say-so.
Yeah! Had just enough.
Of 1 penny on your tax dollar. 6/10 of 1 penny pays for all. And you're telling me why are we spending money there down here? If you need that money to solve these problems, you got some other problems going on.
We need a metric ton of power to get this to work. This isn't going to do anything without power.
So my point is, I think the greatest need is to be able to have the foresight necessary to make investments on the frontier of science, even if at the time you make those investments, you cannot figure out how that might make you rich tomorrow. Michael Faraday in the 1840s was the first one to pass a wire through a magnetic field.
It looks so horrible. Oh, it's fantastic. Where's Tom? Let me fix my equipment before I do something stupid.
It is just a current through the wire. He showed his colleagues. It looked like just kind of a curiosity, a toy. Showed it to Parliament. They say, why? Like, this is what we're funding? We're funding this toy? And this may be apocryphal, but it is said of Faraday in response to the inquiry.
Everything's got to be on the same power grid. Otherwise, the machine won't work.
And to the king, he said, I don't know what value it is today, but I know one day you're going to tax it. And in fact, that is the foundation of how all electricity is made today. And it would take another 60 years before electricity would come to homes. But who could have known it at the time? I don't want to be left behind. I will not leave you behind. Last thing I'll say. The biggest news story last year to me.
Oh, I think I know what I need to do. Okay.
Flatulence. No. The biggest news story happened December 22nd, something like that. I forgot what day. A press release comes out.
Need some copper and ceramic.
They want to send a mission to deflect Apophis, the killer asteroid.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I said if that hit's going to hit the Pacific, which affects us. Okay? Russia says we're going to launch a mission. We're going to start designing it now.
Alright, I can do this with just like the one ceramic.
Welcome to join us. People say, that's nice. The little international thing. I'm saying, wait a minute. Something's wrong here. Aren't we the ones who are supposed to be starting missions and invite other people to join us? Isn't that how it's been? So that was a sign, one of many, that our significance and meaning on the world stage is fading. And it's fading fast. And it's not a cliff, it's just a fade. And the day will come where the rest of the world just makes their own decision about the future of their own space exploration.
Ah, ceramic.
We're sitting back saying, hi fellas, can we join along?
Neil, we already proved we can deflect asteroids in the movie Armageddon.
So there's our fantasy. We don't do it in real, we do it on the silver screen, and we're happy about that. Maybe we gotta fix that disconnect.
Last question. Why is there something instead of nothing? 10 words or less.
Just because. So I gotta do this in haiku then. Okay.
Okay, 575.
Words that make questions. May not be questions
Why is there something and not nothing is more of a question for poets and philosophers? Can I? Tom, get the fuck off of that thing. I need to use it.